Hey, welcome to class number 3 in my beginner series. You're more than welcome to just jump straight into this class. We haven't done them before. It's around 30-minute classes. However, if you are a brand new beginner, I would suggest going back to class 1 and progressing from there as I just kind of add on each time. I really liked creating this class. I think it's a little bit more creative than the last few ones, but it's still using the same motions, those same movements that we're already used to. I'll start babbling on here and we'll get started. I wanted to just do a quick, as we have before, breathing technique before we start. This time I want to focus on balloon breathing. I like this one. It's a bit of a kind of visualization, basically just envisioning that you have a balloon in your tummy. I think most people, the general misconception when you're breathing is when you breathe in, you're opening your chest, but it's actually opposite. When you're breathing in, you should be pushing out your tummy rather than sucking your tummy in. If you want to get the breath the whole way down. So I think a good way of doing that is pretending that we have a balloon inside our tummy that's inflating as we breathe. So we're just going to try that a couple of times so you can get used to that one. Closing down the eyes, looking at the floor, making sure we have a straight spine, relaxing your shoulders away from the ears, relaxing the eyelids, the jaw. Starting to slow down the breath. Settling in. So we just want to visualize that there's a balloon in our tummy. It's currently deflated. Give it whatever colour you want to be, whatever shape and size. And when we breathe in, we want to expand that balloon and push our tummy out. And then when we breathe out, we're deflating it and the tummy comes back in. So exhale when you're ready. And then we're going to inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, filling that balloon, holding the breath, and breathing out. Balloon deflates, tummy comes in. Breathing in, pushing the tummy out as the balloon inflates. 3, 4, 5, hold. See if you can take one more sip in and fill it up. And breathe it all out. Push the tummy in, deflate the balloon. 2 more like this. See if the balloon can get any fuller. 2, 3, push out. 4, 5, hold. One more sip. And deflate that balloon. Push the tummy in, let it all go. Relax. One more. The last one, so you can inflate it the biggest it can go. 2, 3, 4, push it out. 5, hold. One more step, push it all out. And let go. Deflate the balloon, tummy comes in. Perfect. And also that's a really good breathing technique to use if you need to calm down, if you need to expand the chest. It naturally switches to our parasympathetic nervous system, which is what relaxes the body, slowing everything down. Alright, let's get started. We are going to bring our hands down beside the hips. You can keep your eyes closed for this, or a soft gaze if you want. Then we're going to take the right hand up overhead. we're going to swing it right over and hook it onto our left ear, kind of covering the left hand side. And we're going to pull very gently. We're not really pulling here again, just gravity's doing the work, the weight of the body's doing the work. Just stretch the left hand side of the neck. Just holding it here. If you want a bit more of a stretch, you can curl those left fingertips out. Breathing in, breathing out. More breath in, more breath out. Right hand comes back down to the side of the hip, and the left hand's going to swing up and over. This time, covering the ear, letting the weight of the arm pull the head very gently to the side. Few breaths here, feeling into a stretch. Perfect. And bring it down. Lovely. We're going to do some cat-cows from this position. So we're going to bring the hands onto the front of the knees. We're going to push back, tucking the chin in, moving back, curling the spine and breathing everything out. Push the shoulders forward. Breathing in, we're going to look up, bring the shoulders away from the ears, push the tummy forward and bum out, look up. And two more like this in your own time. You know where you're going here, pushing back, tucking the chin. Then when you breathe in, you're pulling yourself forward, looking up. Bringing the shoulders away from the ears and pushing the bum out. Breathing out, this cycle one more time. Push back, tuck in, breathe out. Breathe in, pull it up, look up. Shoulder blades together behind the back. And back into a neutral position. We're going to bring the palms together in front of the chest, and then we're going to do a twisting motion, but we're going to try and use that core strength that we've been building up in the last couple of classes to twist the spine around. You're going to push into the palms, pushing them together and bringing the elbows over to the right hand side. So we're really going to push the bum in and push those palms together, using the core to twist and bring it out. Breathe. And slowly over to the other side, very slowly and with control. Pushing into the palms, looking over the left shoulder, twisting, tensing the core. And one more time on each side. Slowly. Moving with intention, not shoving yourself into it, not going too deep, looking over the right shoulder, twist, 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 and back through center one more time to the other side, looking over the left shoulder. Perfect, and back to neutral. We're going to come onto our knees now. So just gently rock forward onto your knees. You can be facing the front of the mat. I'm just facing sideways, and so you can see me better, obviously. I'm going to come up to high knees. Just going to engage your quads here, engage the glutes, engage your core, and we're going to rise up onto our high knees, tuck the tailbone in. Keeping the left knee exactly where it is. We're going to bring the right knee out. So the So the outer edge of the foot is parallel to the mat. Then we're going to breathe in, swing up the hands, keeping the belly tucked in here. We're going to do a side stretch from here. So the right hand's going to come down onto the upper thigh. Can go to the lower thigh if you can reach, but definitely not on the knee joint. And we're going to stretch over using those active fingertips. Remember, no dead fingers. Feeling that exact stretch from the hips the whole way through. Looking up to the elbow. Not needing to bend too far forward to get the stretch, remember? And breathe in up to center. Breathing out, left hand's going to come down, this time onto the fingertips, and right hand's going to stretch over the other side. Push into that outer edge of the foot and push into your fingertips so you feel it. Again, we're not bending over here and hunching over to get the stretch, and we're not bending too far back. We're going to keep a nice straight line the whole way through your body. Breathing in, using the core to come up with little core engagement. Right hand comes down, reach over the left hand side, look towards the armpit, stretch those fingertips, push the knee into the floor, and breathe in, up to center. Always helps when you push up to push over. Left fingertips come down, keeping that straight alignment, pushing those fingers, pushing the outer edge of the foot into the floor, so you're stretching from both directions to wring it out. Lovely. Engage the core, back up. Bring the knee in, keep the hands where they are. We're actually going to bring the arms in front of us, parallel palms facing each other. We're going to do a bit of shoulder mobility, keeping the left hand exactly where it is. Right hand's going to come around behind us, really slowly, feeling the whole motion until it rotates right back to center. Right arm stays where it is, left arm's rotating this time, really slowly, feeling into all the cracks and creaks. Two more like this, right arm's going around this time. And left arm, really slowly, with control, moving it around. And bring the hands down to the side for a second, or bring them to the hips, because the left leg is going to come out, pushing into the right knee. Left leg comes out, the edge is parallel with either the short edge of your mat, or for the other way, the long edge of your mat. Breathing in, hands come up, and breathing out, either placing the hand on the upper part of the leg or the lower leg to stretch over. Active fingertips, push the knee in, look at the armpit. Breathing in, back up, and you know where you're going this time, over the other side. No hunching over, not back, perfect alignment. Push into the outer edge of the foot. Squeeze the belly in, back up, and stretch her over to this side. Deep breath. Breathing in, back up. And one more time. Fingertips come down, stretching across the body, pushing into the outer edge of the foot. Pushing into your fingers, active, looking up to the armpit. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And squeeze the belly in. Move back up. You can drop your hands back down to your hips to bring the knee back in. This time, you can either tuck the toes or keep them where they are. And we're going to sit back down onto the knees. With our fingertips facing our body, we're going to place the hands directly behind the feet. We're going to open up the chest here, open up the shoulders and look up. Don't just throw your head back, you're still holding it here. Breathe. You breathe even deeper, that opens up the chest and you'll feel the stretch more. I can feel it. And crawl very slowly back in. If you weren't facing the front of your mat, turn around now to the front of your mat for a tabletop. We know it now. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hip bones. Acting like that box shape, that tabletop. Perfect. Right leg is going to actually come back and straighten out this time, pushing the heel towards the ground. We're going to do a few toe taps from here, working on that core engagement, and working on the glute strength as well to lift up. So we push into those 3 points in the mat, our palms, our knees. We will push up, engage the core, so our leg isn't going up like this. We want to internally rotate it, and just a couple of toe taps. Breathe out, tap the toes very gently on the mat. Breathe in, squeeze the glutes, feel it in that side. Back down, tap the mat. Breathe in, squeeze up. Back down, tap the mat. And one final time, squeeze it up and back to tabletop. Perfect. Shimmy your hips from side to side to shake that one out. And open on the other side. You know it. Push the heel back. Pushing into the palms. Pushing into the right knee. We're going to raise it up, squeezing the glutes in. Squeeze. And tap the toe back down to the mat. Moving very slowly here. As slow as you possibly can. Squeeze, you can feel it burning slightly down your bum and back down. Final time, squeeze it up and back to our tabletop. Sway the hips from side to side. No hanging around here, we're going into our downward dog. Again, we know where we're going this time. So we're going to, actually from a tabletop, you're not going to push back into downward dog directly from here. So you kind of want to move one hand distance forward. So move the palms of the hands, one hand distance forward. Tuck the toes. And I like to push back almost through a child so that you can get the arms engaged before you come up. So spreading the fingertips out, pushing into the mat with the hands, acting like we're going to rip the mat open from the middle by rotating our wrists and hands. Our shoulder blades are going to come together before we push back through the bum and send our hips to the sky, bending the knees as much or as little as we need to. Pedal it out. Stretch the backs of those legs out. Open the chest here. Sending our chest towards the front of our legs. And come to stillness for one breath. This time we've been working on our crunching and moving our hands in, moving our feet in between our hands. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to lift the right leg up. We're going to bend the knee, crunch it in towards the chest and move it forward. We're not going to hang here for too long as we're going to sway back and forward and bring the feet to meet together at the front. Forward fold. One of my favorites. Feet hip width distance apart, knees nice and bent if you can. Sending the hips to the sky and sending the upper body down towards the floor. Touch the elbows if you need to. Rock side to side. Shake the head. Nope. Nod the head. Yep. And here. Pushing all four corners of the feet, the toes, the heels, inside edge, outside edge, into the floor, bend our knees and thumb curl the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Chin comes up last as we sweep our hands up and overhead to meet the palms at the top and bring the palms down to the center of the chest. And we're going again, we're sweeping the hands up, we're bringing them over the top of the head. You can, if you want here, do a little bit of a back bend, and then sweeping them back down to our forward fold. Bend the knees, don't hang here for long. We're going into our flat back, bringing the hands up the shins, pushing the shoulder blades together, keeping our neck neutral and looking down, and having that straight spine and a 90-degree angle. Breathing out. Here, drop it down. We're going to plant the palms on the floor and bring both feet back to our downward dog. Perfect. Opening the chest, spreading the hands. Holding it in stillness. This time, because we've done it before, we're going to try to see if we can straighten our legs out just slightly more by pushing the quads to the front of the legs as we're trying to push them to the back. Send them back, push the hips up to the sky. Amazing work. And coming down into our child's pose. Very slowly. I'm going to go a bit wider this time. Play around with it every single time you do. Your body is different every single day. So you might need to go wider. You might just prefer to keep your knees hugged in together. Regardless, you're keeping the big toes touching. You're using that intention every single time to see you can get a little further towards placing your forehead on the mat, and then you're crawling your fingertips forward. Feeling the shoulder blades open. Feeling the stretch the whole way through the spine. And the neck relax. Sending the blood towards the breathing, calming us down. Amazing. Now we're going to crawl our hands back in and start to cool down the hard bit. We'll cross our legs first of all, come into a cross-legged position. We're going to do some forward folding. Here we'll start just with one leg. This is where props kind of come in handy. I'm going to, just for demonstration, I'll show you how to use them. You don't need them at all if you don't have them handy. It's just really good to have. We're just going to start by doing a one-legged wide forward fold. Left heel is going to come in. The left leg is going to straighten out if we can straighten it. If not, you can keep the knee bent. We're going to bring our left heel in towards the body. And here's where I would use a pillow. First of all, as well, if you've got a big bum like me, just pull the flesh out. Pull the bum cheeks out a wee bit. And here is where you would tuck your bum underneath the part of the pillow, or if you've got a block, do the exact same thing with that. That helps you stay up straight. If you don't have it, no stress. And if you do have a strap or anything resembling a strap, you're more than welcome to use that here. If not, just move the hands down as far as you can. I'll show it with the strap first and then I'll show it without. So you can have a slight bend in the knee if you need to. If you've got the strap, try and straighten out the leg. We're going to hook the strap underneath the toes and we're going to hold it. We're going to straighten the spine first. When we forward fold, we want to go up before we move forward. So really in a forward fold, we're stretching up the way. If we don't have the strap, we're stretching up the way with our hands. And then we're not really concentrating on the back body bending, rather we're concentrating on bringing the front body towards the thigh. When you visualize it like that, it actually becomes a lot easier to pull the body forward rather than just straining the back body. But give it a go. If you have a strap, we're doing it like this, and we're slowly crawling our hands down as far as we can. First of all, again, move up, keep your body straight for as long as you can until then you finally bend. You're not just bending over here. We want to move as far forward as we can and then bend over at the last minute. You don't have a strap, we are swinging our hands up to the sky, we're pushing our fingertips in the crown of the head towards the ceiling, and then we're bringing the front body forward, 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 forward towards the thigh, to wherever your hands can reach. If they can grab onto the ankles, go for it. If you are flexible, grab onto the bottom of your feet. Or you keep the knees bent and grab onto the bottom of your feet as well. It's just that action again, it's the intention of it. It's just practice, practice, practice. You gotta be patient with yourself with yoga because you will get there. You just gotta keep trying it. We're pulling here, we're breathing deeply. It's a deep stretch. One more deep breath. Well done. Bring the hands down to the floor if you're not already there, and slowly rise back up. Perfect. I'm just going to move the pillow out of the way, and I'm going to move over to the other side. So left foot's going to come out. Right heel is going to come in towards the body. I'll show you without the strap this time. We're going to breathe in, sweep the hands up. We're then going to twist towards the foot. We're going to keep the, if you have your legs straight, then push the heel out the way. Bring your toes towards you. Breathing in, stretching up, and then pushing that front body. The front body wants to meet the thigh. It's trying to meet the thigh if it can. The hands are going on the ground. The hands are coming onto the leg wherever they can reach. Or if you are flexible, you're grabbing onto the bottom of your foot and pulling it. You're feeling the stretch in the lower back, you're feeling the stretch in the shoulder blades, whole way through the spine, whole way through the back of the leg. Enjoy it. It's an intense one, but it's so good. And it's great cooling down. Your body's all warmed up and is ready for it as it can be. Last breath in. Breathing it out, bringing the hands to the floor if they're not already there, and gently, slowly sweeping it back in. Perfect. Now you're going to bring the knees together, place the feet onto the mat, shimmy forward if you're at the back of the mat like me, for our very favourite crossing the hands over the shoulders and moving slowly, 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 slowly down. Reach the core. Squeeze the belly. And down to the floor. Bringing the hands out, we're going to do a twist here. So we'll bring the hands out to a T shape if you've got the room. Now we'll do that cactus arms where your arms are at 90 degrees. Left leg's going to straighten. Right leg's going to stay bent this time. And what we're going to do is take our left hand and bring it to the outer edge of the right knee. So lift the knee up, bring the left hand, and we're going to twist it across the body. We're going to pull the knee. We don't want to just pull it here and whack it onto the floor. What we want to do is keep our shoulder glued to the floor to get the twist in the spine. So if your legs hanging up here somewhere, totally grand. We just want a nice stretch in the spine. We're not overdoing it. We're doing this very, very slowly. Remembering that our neck is an extension of our spine, we're gonna take our gaze over to the right hand side, towards the right shoulder. So we're getting a twist the whole way from the knee up through the hips, twisting the whole spine right to the crown of the head. Again, as you breathe, you might then realize your knee can come a little further over, but we're not taking the shoulder off the mat, it's glued. And bring it back up when you're ready, very slowly. Swapping it over, cactus in your arms or T-shape in the arms again. Bend the left knee, right leg straight. Right hand comes to catch the outer edge of the left knee with our shoulder blade glued to the floor. We're pulling the knee and taking the gaze to the left hand side. Enjoy it. Bring the body out. Great twists for digestion. And bring the knee back in. Perfect. You can try a happy baby this time. If you want to, you're more than welcome to just hug the knees as we've been doing before. If you want to give it a happy baby a go, we are going to grab onto the bottoms of our feet, bringing our hands to the inner edge of the foot. So you can reach up, and we're basically just going to bend our knees and pull our knees towards our armpits. We can rock and roll to the side if we want. Pull them down just as much as you can. Our final movement of the class. Before we go into our Savasana. So you can bring your legs back down slowly and gently, just straighten. And flip those palms up to the sky if they're not already. Hugging the shoulder blades together behind the body, keeping our neck neutral, letting our toes hang out. We're slowly relaxing down, relaxing the feet, the ankles, relaxing the knees, the hips. Relaxing the chest, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. Relaxing the head down. Your whole body is totally relaxed. Taking a moment here to thank yourself for giving yourself 30 minutes or so for yourself to make yourself feel better. I feel 10 times better, so I hope you do. And being proud of yourself for maybe something you did in this class that you didn't think you could have done. Maybe something that you've improved on since the last time. Just take time to notice those improvements. Slowly, slowly, we'll get there. Taking a couple more breaths in silence. toes and fingers. You can then rotate the wrists and ankles if you want. Just rotate them around. Rotating the neck from side to side. Slowly waking back up again. Turning to one side. And you are ready. And pushing up then. You can keep the gaze down and the eyes closed if you want. Crossing our legs. Bringing our palms together. Namaste. Yay. So if you're doing this 3 classes a week, you have just completed the first week. Yeah, so I'm super proud of you. I hope that you've seen the benefits and the improvements so far. I hope you've challenged yourself. I hope that you've done something you might not have thought you could do. And I hope you're excited to keep progressing, because it's super exciting for me. I love introducing people to yoga. So yeah, I'll see you next week if you're doing it weekly, or I'll see you in class 4. But yeah, see ya.